Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer and I suffer from H63D Syndrome, which is caused by an inherited H63D genetic mutation on the way iron is absorbed when it's consumed by food. And I've done a lot of research on H63D Syndrome and H63D Homozygosity in people who also have symptoms similar to what's described as H63D syndrome. I wanted to share first a poem in a way that I made and a document that I had notarized about my digressing condition, but I did want to start a YouTube so I could share with others what H63D syndrome is and how to manage. My name is Jennifer, in case I haven't introduced myself, and the first one I wanted to share is what I call the Celtic Curse, Poem 1, and I'd like to read this. I remember the blank stare from my young father's eyes the moment he died. He was only 57, I was 29. The connection was timeless, eye to eye. I felt my soul stir. A voice spoke softly and cruelly from within, saying, "You are next." Haughty I was, healthy and fit for 29 years. That voice I shook off. For how could it be his last 7 years? My father's unbreakable body withered so quickly. I would be sure to stay healthy, as I was already. I would not end like that, as if I had control of my destiny. For my father, the doctors had no answers. His pain was not real to them. His shaking, rhythmic-like seizures had no clear answers. Tests were all negative, MRI, CT, X-ray. His blood work indicated he appeared strong and fit, but his body and his mind did not match the testing. This was 1997. I helped care for my father those last 7 years as his muscles wasted away. He told me a rhyme I never forget. Once a man, but twice a babe. Randomly he shook violently, and there were so many days he begged for the ER, as this once strong man cried in pain. I hurt all over, he said. But the doctors cannot help you, I responded. His pain was considered imaginary because the tests all show negative. With this imaginary pain, the seizure-like movements eventually stole his ability to walk or swallow. My family and I fed him Ensure, a liquid meal, as it was all he could swallow. He passed away 7 years following his first neurological symptoms. So young, life stolen from him with no answers. My father's death certificate reads Parkinson's and starvation as the cause of death. I had no choice but to believe the doctors, that he had a shaking condition with neurological involvement that led to early death, and that the pain must have been imaginary. 20 years later, with hardly a thought of what could have stolen the life of an incredibly healthy man, a disease that evades the understanding of physicians. My 40th birthday neared, and then it was my turn, just as the voice had spoken to my soul. The random, uncontrolled shaking and invisible pain began. However, the last 4 years, I studied and fought through the medical system. There had to be answers. It was no coincidence that my symptoms matched that of my father. I too was told my pain didn't exist, that my shaking was a cause of anxiety, that somehow this was my fault. Almost too late for me as I entered my 7th year of worsening symptoms in January 2025. Death so near, I saw the golden shores not once but twice along my painful journey for medical answers. I uncovered the cause of our inherited early death, a pathogenic version of H63D. Our family inherited the Celtic curse. For me, it has a name, H63D Syndrome. I have not a story of death, but I want to share with you my medical journey, which has led to the monumental discovery on how to survive. And the next document I wanted to share that I wrote, I had this one notarized on August 27th of 2024 when my symptoms were really, really bad. And I write, "This is Jennifer. This is my personal statement of physical incapacitation. This statement has been prepared by myself, Jennifer Shanks, as notarized proof from myself and my family of caretakers that I am not capable of managing my home nor day-to-day activities required to run my household and care for myself. I have requested my caretakers to sign off on the truth of my statement. Within this document, I hereby declare under penalty of perjury that the foregoing is true and correct. My name is Jennifer," and I presented my address. "I am in severe pain every minute of every day, as I have multiple autoimmune diseases that worsened following my first COVID infection in March of 2020. Following that date, I have been under the care of multiple care providers, and my physical health has deteriorated to the point I need these individuals to help care for me, my household, and my family. I have been officially medically diagnosed with post-acute COVID syndrome, mast cell activation syndrome, also known as MCAS, hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, polymyositis, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, and FMD, functional movement disorder, and ankylosing spondylitis. I am in a wheelchair. I have very limited ability to walk on my own. I have lost muscle mass, and my muscles burn worse when I use them. I generally have one good day, followed by a bad day, or 2 or 3. On bad days, there are times I cannot get out of bed due to severe pain all over my body, joints, and arteries. I need help to the restroom. I need help with bringing me food, setting aside my medication, and helping me down the stairs and outside to the main house. So my bedroom is in a different building from the main house. I try to make it out of my bedroom and into the main house as much as possible, even on bad days. That means I must go outside in order to be moved from my bedroom to the main house with assistance. Even on good days, I lack the strength to even open a jar of baby food, which is my go-to food, as I have extraordinary problems chewing and swallowing. I choke with every meal and every drink. I do not generally cook, as pans are too heavy to manage, and I make mental mistakes following this due to severe brain fog. This is why I have 3 adult caretakers who split the responsibilities to care for the home, preparing my meals for me and my children, purchasing groceries, and taking me to my numerous appointments. I avoid driving as much as possible, and driving is stressful on my muscles and results in further burning sensations. In fact, any physical activity results on an increase in severity of the burning I feel inside my muscles. Physical activity results in dizziness, loss of coordination, and extreme exhaustion, which generally occurs every 2 to 4 hours. I cannot hold my eyelids open, and at the point the nerves in my eyes, eyelids, and neck are uncontrollable, causing my neck to swing and my eyes to flap open and close without my say. I consistently have trouble breathing in. My pain levels are always minimally at a 4. My medical staff and I are doing everything we can to treat my condition and make me more comfortable. And it was signed by myself, my husband, my ex-husband, and my mother, all who are my caretakers. Now, since August 27th of 2024, obviously my symptoms have improved. So I would like to share my medical journey through YouTube and help others be aware how incredibly dangerous H63D syndrome is, and even having one gene can affect you, because I fully believe, after discovering what happened with my father and reading through any information on his death, that I believe he only had one H63D gene at the time of his early passing. So I would like to bid you guys farewell, and I hope to make further videos of this for H63D syndrome, and H63D Homozygosity. And for those of you out there who are suffering the similar symptoms of H63D syndrome, but only have one H63D gene known as heterozygosity. Anyway, it's a lot more dangerous than you could ever have imagined, and extremely painful, and is life-altering, and will absolutely destroy your mind, your mentality, your physical capability, and can lead to early death. So stay tuned.